Hey everybody, Joy here. I have kind of some sad news to tell you. Oh, you know, my 60s, I have found out, evidently are a whole lot easier than your 70s. Oh my goodness. Where have I been? Number one, I've already made you a video. I made it at my other house probably 2 weeks ago. And it's already edited and everything, but I had to finish it. It's about making this embroidery design, if I remember right. Can you see my chick? It says, I'm not bossy. I'm sure that's what I showed you. I'm aggressively helpful. Yeah. So look what I'm working on now. I have been up here for days working on Mr. Scarecrow, and I'm not going to call him a snowman. The pattern has you put buttons for eyes. Well, I didn't want to have buttons for eyes, because if you have buttons for eyes, you have to put the buttons on after the quilt is completely done, because you can't quilt over a button. And the mouth they had as rickrack. And so I thought, well, I don't want to do mine like that. So I digitized with my software. I think I showed you that on this blouse. Eyeballs and a mouth. And the mouth is up here, so I can't show that to you. These eyes, why didn't you use those eyes? I didn't cut these out because this one's way too big, and this one's probably a little bit too big. I'm not sure. So I ended up with this. This is actually thread. I sewed it out on just a plain white background, and I wanted to make sure, number one, it would look good, the way I digitized it. And it's not perfect, but from the back of a running horse or the top of a mountain, you know how that goes. So I think his eyes are cute, and I like his mouth, because it looks like his mouth is sewn on, and it looks like his eyebrows are sewn on. So tell me what you think about that. It's just pinned, see? It's not real yet. I'm going to sew it on the face. But, you know, it took me days to make this hat and this face, because I'll tell you by my sad news. But I wanted to finish the hat and the face. I got all the leaves done. And I wanted to finish the hat and the face so I could do the mouth and the eyes. So I got that much done. So what happened? What happened to me? Now, I know for a fact that there are a lot of you who are going to be able to tell me that this happened to you and this is how you got it fixed. So please, please leave me a comment below and tell me what doctor. There's so many kinds of doctors. Somebody says go to a chiropractor. Somebody else says go to something called OMT, osteopathic manipulative treatment, something like that. Another one says go to physical therapy. Another one says take this pill, that pill. My nephew brought me over a little container of some kind of cream. And it actually worked pretty good. And I just couldn't believe it when he told me what it was. Something that they make out of marijuana. I don't know. But evidently a lot of people use it for pain. Some kind of oil that's in it. I don't know. Some of you may know. Ask your grandkids. So what happened? I have been moving for a year now from my other house. You know that. We have stairs there. We have stairs here. So I've been doing a lot of packing, a lot of lifting, a lot of moving boxes from upstairs to downstairs, from downstairs to the truck, out of the truck, back into this house, up these stairs. So I have, for over a year, had a pain in my lower back. Very low. Way down here. Pain, like a headache pain. You know, and I just think, oh, I've got to quit doing this lifting. I've got to quit doing this lifting. My back is sore again. In a few days it would go away. So I wasn't worried about it at all. I just thought, well, we'll be done moving one of these days and my back will quit hurting. So one day, 2 weeks ago, I think it's been 2 weeks. It was right after we got back here from our other house when you saw me doing this. You're going to see me do this on the video in a minute. If you want to listen to me yak, just go ahead and you can watch it. But we got back. And so some people came to work on the barn. And so when people come to work on the barn, which is almost done, we have the driveway poured, we have the electric in. Now they're putting the dirt all around it and going to plant grass and stuff. So we are getting there. So my nephew is in charge. You know, he's the contractor, builder guy or whatever. And I was going to go talk to him about something. Or I was going to go find Jerry. I don't remember what it was. So I'm always sewing, always quilting, always do something. And I thought, oh, I need to go tell Jerry about this. Or I need to go ask Jerry about that. And of course I don't remember what it was. And he never answers his phone. So all I did was go out into the garage because, say, here's the barn, okay? And here's my house. So I walked out of the mudroom and stepped down, one little step, stepped down onto the floor of the garage, not the barn, the floor of the garage. And then you walk, 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 way down here, way back here, way back here, and eventually you get to the barn. Something about that step, and I have no idea. I mean, I didn't step different. I didn't think, oh, I'm going to do a ballet act today and stick my foot up on the roof. Nothing. I just stepped the usual way. And my back, it was like fireworks went off inside, deep inside, right here. Right here. It's almost my butt, but right here. Deep. I went to take another step and I couldn't. And I went to take another step and I couldn't. So, I'm not sure if it happened right that second. I think it happened that second, and it hurt. And then I continued to walk toward the barn. And about halfway to the barn, I couldn't walk anymore. And my nephew and my husband were standing out there in the driveway in front of the barn. And I hollered, help, help. And they came over to see what was wrong with me. And I could not step. I couldn't put my foot down without excruciating pain. It reminds me of my friend Viv, who suffers so much pain because of issues in her spine. And they came over, what happened, what happened, what happened? And I told them, well, my husband tried to pick me up. Put his arms around me, tried to pick me up. He thought he was going to carry me in the house. Well, yeah, right. You might as well pick up the truck and see if you can carry it. So that didn't work out. So my nephew was on one side, my husband was on the other side, and they took my arms and kind of helped me so I didn't have to walk very hard. You know, they held me in case I fell. And I could have fallen. Was that the first time that happened? This has been going on so long now, I wish I'd have kept a diary of it. One day, I woke up in the night to go to the bathroom, as I do 2 or 3 times a night. And I stepped down and, had that pain. And so I thought, well, I've got to go to the bathroom. So I walked in the dark over to where the potty is, and I bent over to lift the lid, and I fell. I think I told you guys this already. I fell into the shelf that's in there. And I thought, oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Because the thing about this pain is, it's not all the time. Sometimes it's a whole day and a whole night. Sometimes nothing hurts for a whole day. Sometimes nothing hurts at night, but it hurts in the day. Sometimes the horrible pain is here, but then I have pain here, and pain in the middle. It's really crazy. I don't even know how to explain it to the doctor. So Jerry and I have decided it's obviously sciatica and a pinched nerve. And depending on how I walk or what I do to myself, the nerves hurt in different places. That's all I can figure out. My doctor hasn't seen me for this, but the last time I was in there to see him, what did I go to him for? I had to go to him for something. It wasn't for that. I don't know if it was just, I tell you, if I had a memory. I remember his nurse, Tammy. I gave her a hug. She told me she was leaving. She'd put in her notice because she's having her first grandbaby. And he saw me for something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe blood pressure. I don't know. Oh, do I ever miss my memory. But I told him that day that, I said, I almost fell. I said, I'm getting this horrible pain in my back, and I almost fell. I got out of bed, and I couldn't even hardly walk. And so he kind of knew about that. He didn't give me any prescription for it because it wasn't hurting me right then. Right, he said, you know, he said, well, is it hurting you now? No. He said, where is it? He said, is it your hip? I said, no, it's not my hip. It's way up here. Yeah, I remember now because he came over and he said, can I touch you? And so he felt me and he said, where is it? Where is it? And I said, it's right here. It's up here. And at that point, it was just on my hips. Yeah, I remember now. The pain was gone in my back, but both of my hips, it was in both sides of my, and it's like at the top of my pelvis in the back. And both of those were hurting. Although I don't think that's why I went to him. I mean, it just came up in the conversation. Why did I go to him? Does anybody know? Anyhow, so then I came back home. He didn't prescribe anything or anything because it wasn't hurting that bad that day. And so then, okay, it's all coming back to me now. Oh, do I sound like Celine Dion? I doubt it. Okay, I was in here. I was playing snowman quilt. And so I would cut. I would walk over there where you are. I would go over to my iron. I would come back here. I would cut. You see all my letters? All my letters. All of a sudden, I got out from behind here. I walked around to go to the iron, and it hit me again. Some step. I don't know what step it is. I don't know what causes it. But some step. It went off. Firecracker pain deep inside. The firecracker pain's deep inside. The other aches are like muscle aches on the outside. But the firecracker pain's deep. And oh my goodness, I hurt so bad. And so I figured out that if I bent over like this, it didn't hurt as bad. And I could walk bent over like this. So I spent like the next 2 or 3 days walking like this. My nephew rang the doorbell one day, and Jerry wasn't in the house, so I had to answer the door, and I walked like this to the door. He said, you look like you're 150. I said, well, I feel like it. Right now, how am I right now? Right now, there's no pain. There's just like if you had a headache kind of pain, and it's on each side. This side, but the deep pain, there isn't any. And that's what's so strange about this. Look, I can stand up straight. I can bend over and touch my toes. I can touch whatever's up here. I can climb stairs. It's like it's my imagination. I'm like, how can I be perfectly fine 1 minute? And then that happens to me. So, long story short, the doctor called me in and said, get more x-rays. So they did more x-rays, and the x-rays showed degenerative disc disease in a couple of my discs, and he thought maybe arthritis. So he thinks I have arthritis. It's not arthritis, it's a pinched nerve. So I called him back. I said, this is torture. I said, I have got to have some help. So he called me in something. He called me in some kind of cyclobenzaprine or something that's supposed to be a muscle relaxant, 5 milligrams, and something to take at night for pain. Well, I might as well have eaten this piece of paper for all the good it did. It didn't help at all. The pain was terrible. It didn't help at all. So I called him back a couple days later. I said, these pills aren't working. They don't kill the pain. I'm walking bent over like a pretzel. So he called me in 800 milligram ibuprofen and a stronger pain pill, and told me to keep taking that other stuff. So I took it, and still, it works fine for this kind of dull pain that I'm having right now. But that deep pain that hurts so bad, and I know some of you are saying, I know exactly what you're talking about. It doesn't touch it. It doesn't touch it. If that pain is happening, nothing stops it. But it goes away by itself. Look at me now, I'm fine. I'm just fine. I'm standing up straight. That deep pain isn't there. I can't even feel it. So, Dr. Roby, my doctor, is having me have a CAT scan day after tomorrow, on Monday. I'm going to have a CAT scan. So I don't know what that's going to show. But his nurse called me the other day and she said, well, we got to play the insurance game. And Jerry was insisting they do an MRI. Jerry called him himself. And they said, we can't, we have to do this, we have to do this, and you have to have had it for 6 months and blah, blah, blah. So you know all about that. But that's my current excuse for not having made any videos. So if you keep watching, you're going to see me at my other house making this chicken. And I have no idea what I said or what. You know, life's kind of gotten in the way since then. But I just wanted to say, hey everybody, this is Joy, and you can watch the clips right here. Hey everybody, Joy here. Welcome to my other house. My house where there is sun brightly shining. See, I've got the shades pulled up. I love the sunshine. You know, I grew up from 3 years old till 16 years old in Phoenix, Arizona. So I am a sunshine girl. I probably need to go tilt those blinds or turn them down a little. Hold on. So if I can quit sneezing, I'll talk to y'all. So yes, we knew the weather was going to get really, really bad up there. Now, our other house is by Tulsa, which is 3 hours north of here when you're driving. I don't know how many miles that is. Maybe 200 maybe. And oh my goodness, is the weather there ever different than the weather down here? Up there today, this very day, where I have sunshine here and it's dry, they had snow and ice and it's 2 below zero today. So we're here. I told Jerry, we just need to keep this house. It's a lot warmer here and we'll have a runaway place. When the weather gets ugly up there, we can run away to here. But of course we can't do that. You know, we're supposed to be downsizing because we're so old. And I don't know. It's one thing if we're together. It's another thing if one of us dies. And back a year and a half ago when we made our move, Jerry was very ill, if you remember. He was very ill and had problems with his heart. He had to have a pacemaker and a CPAP machine. And he had to have that, what's it called, the pacemaker. He had to have surgery and have that put inside him, you know. So we were just very worried because he's 4 years older than I am. And they say the husband always goes first. And so I was so worried that something would happen to him and I'd be stuck down here by myself with no family, no friends. Now I do have one real good friend here. Her name is Terry, but she and her husband are in the ministry and they're forever somewhere else. Forever. Always go. They could be in England, for heaven's sake. They go to Colorado a lot, and they've been to England, and they go to Florida all the time. And so even though her house is near me, she isn't, okay? So I don't want you to think, well, what about your friend Terry? I'm going to see her tomorrow, actually. So here's the deal. Jerry's super healthy again. My goodness, he's working all day from dawn to dark out there in his barn, in the lawn. He has this little thing he bought that you hook up behind it's called a mule. It's the dumbest name for it, but it's one of those four-wheeler things, you know, that you can drive. I bought it for our granddaughters years ago. And he pulls this contraption behind it that has this rotary thing, and it rotorizes the leaves and makes them go in the big basket that it's attached to. Does that make sense? And then he goes and he dumps them somewhere, and then he goes around and around and gets more and goes and dumps them somewhere. So now that he's done leaf removal, he is going to put pre-emergent all over our yard today. So he's outside and I'm inside, and we're both happy as we can be. Stay with me a second and I'll show you what I've been doing. Some of you may recall that sometime back, Philly and I got into these chickens from embroderylibrary.com. Chickens. This girl is called Betty Chicken, and she has a husband now, and I don't remember what his name's called. But we just love them. We love them. They have, goodness, probably 30 of them at least. So I have these little shorts that I bought at Walmart, time and true, and they're super, super cheap. I think I paid $4 a piece for them. But I try to exercise every day. And I do exercises with with the television, with these online exercise places. There's 2 of them that I use. So I was exercising the other night, and I was in, you know, my normal clothes, and it was so uncomfortable. The bra, to start with, is the most uncomfortable, and the jeans, and you know, you want to exercise in something comfortable. I had received an email from Embrodery Library with this hilarious chicken. I'll show it to you in a minute. I didn't buy it because it was full price. It was $6, and I'm such a tightwad I wouldn't buy it. And I thought I'll just wait till it goes on sale because they have the sales all the time. So today, is it 75 off? Today, and this is February 21, 2025. And if it's not today when you're watching this, which I'm sure it won't be because I probably won't get it up today, just go to their website, emblibrary.com, and sign up for their emails because they have sales constantly. So anyway, I could not get that chicken yesterday because I was too tight to buy it. And I already had this chicken, okay? Now this chicken says, it's hilarious. This is the size the chicken came in. I made it smaller for this shirt because this was too big, so that's why I have 2 of them. But this chicken says, I am not bossy. I am aggressively helpful. I have 3 of these shirts, like I said, and I've got my Elissimo here. My Elissimo baby lock embroidery machine I bought back in 2009, I think. And so I am going to embroider all 3 of these shirts with a chicken. So this one says, I'm not bossy, and the next one is even cuter. So I'm going to arrange it in my Bernina software. You want to see me do my Bernina software? I doubt that you do because nobody wants to pay $2,000 for it. Is it $2,000 or $1,200? It's a lot. So the software is $1,900. Okay, so I doubt that any of you are going to want to buy it if you don't already own it. So you don't even need to watch me do it. What I did with this one was I just shrunk it down. But since they're 70% off today, I went in and I bought the smaller size. When you go to emblibrary.com, they'll have designs. See, here it is. I'll show you this picture. This is the picture if you go there. But you can buy it in 3 different sizes. Call it small, medium, and large, I guess. So I always buy the large one because I can reduce the size with my software. But you can only reduce it so much and not lose the quality of it. So today I went in there and I bought this chicken again in the smallest size so I don't have to shrink it with my software, and that way it'll be a perfect sew out. And I also bought the exercise chicken. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay, so you have to have one of these things. I usually can't remember their name, but I actually remember it today. It's called a flash drive. So I'm gonna put that in here. The only problem is I can't put it in there, so I have to have this thing. And I don't know what this is called either. But the laptops nowadays don't come with enough plug-in things, and they never have a DVD player. So I don't know what that's about. So I bought this little thing, not very expensive. It's by Acer. And so it does plug in to my laptop in the same hole the charger goes into. And then this has those USB holes. So I'm going to stick it on there. I have my mouse in this too. Okay? So I have it connected to my computer by this thing now. And I also have a mouse because I have that. My laptop, some of you may be able to tell me, some of you real computer geniuses, my laptop will work for a while with the mouse. It's slow, but it'll work. And I can come and push and move over here and move over here, and it works just fine. But after a while, it goes crazy. And I'll move up here and click on something, and I'll click, and it'll jump over here and click on something else. Can't stand it. So I bought this and a wireless mouse, and it works perfect. So if anybody's having problems like that. So I'm going to go. The new software is $1,874. Now I've actually spent way more than that. Because I bought it when it was version 1, and now it's version 9. So I had to pay for version 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and we're talking like $600 to $900 every time. So that is a royal ripoff. Other softwares may not do that. So I would suggest another software if you can find one. All right, here we go with I Am Not Bossy, and it's the little one. And I'm going to click one-click download. And there it is. And then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to extract it. Bernina all-in-one. Yeah, right there it is. It's already there. Already there. Okay, so extract all, and then I'm going to go save it with my designs. And those are always impossible to find, but anyway, Bernina has its own file system, and I never can figure out where it's at, but, you know, without studying. So I'm going to put it in My Designs 2024, even this is a different year. Extract. Okay, so now it's extracted. So now I can open it with my software. This is why I'm not buying that $30,000 Radiance machine. What you're paying for is software. And I don't need that software because I already have it. I've paid a fortune for it in this Designer Plus. And it does way more than what the Designer does in the embroidery machine. So I was tricked into buying the Solaris, which all it ended up being was a little more software that I never used because I use this. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, Joy, that was just stupid. It's just a sewing machine with different software. So it takes it a little while to open up. You can see I've got Bernina Embroidery Software 9. And I have Designer Plus, which is the top of the line. So I have to find that chicken now. I'm going to show you how I'm going to send it to my embroidery machine, okay? I'm going to get it on this flash drive, and then I'm going to take it over and put it in the embroidery machine. I'm going to embroider it on this shirt. Open recent. No, those are all the ones I played with yesterday. I don't want that. So we're going to go to embroidery canvas, which is the embroidery. I'm going to delete the hoop. I don't want to see it. I'm going to hit File and Open Design. And then I'm going to go to my documents and My Designs 2024, because that's where I saved her. Okay, see what it says? It says resizing this design more than 10% larger or smaller may produce poor quality embroidery. So that's why I'm starting with their smaller design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her a little bit larger by 10%. So I'm going to put Control A to choose her. Then I'm going to make her fit here. And I'm going to make her 10% smaller. She's already 5.6. No, I want to make her 10% bigger. Let's go to 106. There she is, 6 inches. Okay, now that's just 107%. So that's less than 10% bigger. So that should be perfectly fine and not lose any clarity or quality. Okay, I am not bossy. Do you know how many times in my life people have told me I'm bossy? So now I'm going to do File, Save As, Bossy 220. Bossy 220, today's date, save. Okay? Now I am going to send her. First I'm going to make a copy of her. I need a copy of her because I need the cross marks. Do you see how when you make a copy, it gives you the cross in the middle? So that means that is the exact center right there of this design. And so I line this up on my shirt by this cross mark here. So I know exactly where it's going to sew out. So I'm going to make a copy of it, and then I will place it on my shirt. Okay? Let's put it over here on this flash drive first. File. What does it say? Export machine file. Now, for some reason, my software knows I have to have PES for that Elissimo machine. I don't know how it knows it, but it does. There's lots and lots of different, what do you call those things? formats, letters that these designs come in, but I have to use PES and somehow it knows it. And here's my Samsung USB already there. So I'm just going to say save. And there it is. So now it's on this little thing right here. Can you see it? I can't see what you can see. So it's on this. So now I'm going to come down here in my computer and I'm going to say safe to remove this whatchahoozy. Eject flash drive. Safe to remove. Okay? So it's not on this. That's the mouse. It's on this. Ta-da! See, this is the Samsung. So now, my chicken is on this. And I'm going to take the chicken over to, across my messy room. Look at that. I started to work with that yesterday. Opening it up out of the envelope was a whole lot easier than getting it back in. So let's walk over here to the Elissimo. See? Now we're at the Elissimo. I'm going to come over here. Hello. Get my my whatchahoozy. The carriage of the embroidery will move. Okay. Move. And then I'm going to put this in the side over here. There it is. I'm going to put it in right there. So now it's in this machine so I can find it. I'm going to go to Embroidery Edit because I'm not ready to sew this out yet. And I'm going to go to this little signal right here because it's not with the mouse and it's not connected to my laptop. It's just here in the side of the computer. So you poke that little thing and then you find it. See? I think it's that one. There she is. No, that's one I did before. I have done 2 of them before. This one says, I'm no longer a spring chicken, I'm a seasoned hen. How about that? Chicken, chicken, chicken. Maybe it's that one. There she, no, I'm not a hoarder. There's the other chicken I did. I'm not a hoarder. I'm the curator of an extensive private fabric collection. Yeah, that's right. So, I don't know where the chicken is and I need right now. What's that one? I am not bossy. I found her. There she is. See, these are so little and they're mostly black and you really can't tell what they are. So here she is right here. I'm not bossy. I am aggressively helpful. And here it's showing the very first thing it's going to sew out. So I don't want it to sew that out first. I want it to sew a square out first. It's not that, it's this with the flower in the middle. Now, see how instead of having the hair on the chicken, it's not hair, that rubber thing on their head, it has a square. So it's going to sew a square first, and then it's going to sew all that other stuff. How fun is that? I hope I didn't break this, I just dropped it. Okay, so she's there, she's ready to sew out. So I'm going to find a hoop and put some stabilizer on the back of it and hoop it up and sew this chicken out on my shirt. Okay, this t-shirt doesn't want to fit in this hoop very good. I need to take the side seams out, but I'm not going to do it. We'll see if I'm sorry about that. You see how high it is crunched up around all of this? And this is a size large shirt, I'm sure. I want to show you something really cool you can do. Probably everybody's embroidery, I don't know, but I'm at Embroidery Library all the time. It will tell you what color thread they use to sew the chicken out. Thread numbers below refer to Madeira. So what you can do is a thread exchange. And you can click on that and then you can tell it what kind your thread is. So this is their thread. And then I told it I've got sulky thread, so it told me what colors in sulky match the colors of theirs. So I'm going to go out and see if I can find these numbers. And then I'll come back and sew this baby out. So I'm having to babysit this. You can see I have mountains piled around this t-shirt trying to keep it out of the way. That's why I needed a small chicken. Now this is not a real dense design, and it tells you that. You can like see the white t-shirt behind her comb. But if you look, where are you, comb? See, if you look there, you can see the white in it. It's just very light fill. It looks like the feather part is pretty good. The feather part's pretty thick fill. But this is possible, my friends. This is the type of design I'm sure you embroiderers know that you got to stand by. You don't go away. You don't go downstairs and talk to Jerry. You stay right here and you just watch and make sure nothing falls down. If something goes wrong, you push that stop button. See the stop button? Stop. Ta-da! And then you can arrange and like push everything out of the way and make this big bowl. I've got pins here, there, and everywhere. Okay, and then you push start again. I was able to find 3, I think, of the matching colors with, what's my thread called? I told you what it's called. Isoport. My thread is Isoport. I like it very much. I've never had any problems with it. And I have a lot more colors at my other house, but that doesn't help me here. It's ready for the next color. So I'm going to go downstairs and have lunch, and then I'm going to come back and finish this little chicken. And then I'll show you the exercise chicken, who's even cuter. I have to get another shirt. Miss Chicky is all done. You've got the strength of a Hercules' mother. You can undo the hoop. Let me see if I can pop it out and then loosen it. Goodness, she turned out super cute. I just love these chickens. Would a young person like these chickens? I don't know. I figured somebody would ask me, so I'm going to tell you. What did I put on the back? It's a tearaway. And it's got the shiny side, so it's like that, is it freezer paper? That paper that you can iron, and it sticks. And so I ironed the back of it, and I put a much bigger piece than what I needed because it was like a pre-cut sheet. I don't know where I got it, but I decided to just use the whole thing. I'm not worrying about the tearaway that's in between these letters. That is just too little to tear away. But I'm going to tear away her belly. You got a belly like me, lady? Yeah. I was looking at a picture of myself when my daughter was about 2 years old. I was like, I was so skinny compared to now. What was I, about 40 pounds thinner? Oh, I don't want to be that thin again now, but I'd sure like to be a little thinner. So I've gotten most of the tearaway gone. There's a little more here in her face. Let's get that off. This only takes about 19 minutes to sew out because most of it's the shirt. That's why, you know, when I sewed her on the green shirt, I ended up with a green chicken. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. How'd my chicken get green? Let's put her from the back. I've got the friction pen on the front, you know, showing me where straight was and where to place her. Of course, down here at the lake, you know, you're liable to see anything on a shirt. You're liable to see people don't even have a shirt on, and I'm not kidding. I remember a lady I used to know. They owned the marina down the street, and the girls would come in all the time, you know, with their plastic parts. And she told me one time, she said, my husband wants me to have that done. Ended up, the husband left her for a girl that did have it done. She was, goodness, 30 years younger than he is. It's so sad. They'd been married over 40 years. The first wife. All right, let's turn her around and see what she looks like. And then I can go do my exercises. I really can. Look there. Oh, look, there's a great big black mark right there. I wonder what caused that. Huh. I don't know what caused that. Oh, here, let me show you real quick so you know what I'm talking about. See the letters? how there's threads connecting. I am aggressively helpful. There's jump threads down at the bottom. I am not bossy's not so bad, but I need to cut all of those letters apart. And then I need to go remove. This is actually where I had my my friction pen, and it was pink. So I don't know what that's about. I'll be back. And you have to realize that just because the Lord told me this years ago, because I was real picky about my friends. And I would say, well, I can't be friends with her because she smokes, or I can't be friends with her because she drinks too much, or I can't be friends with her because she's living with a man she's not married to. And I had all these crazy rules, like I was perfect, you know, which I wasn't at all and knew I wasn't at all. But I just grew up believing that you would be like the friends that you chose in your life, and you would be like who you hung around with. Well, I finally had to get over that, and you know, not get to the point where I'm going to go hang around in a gay bar or, you know, because go live in a nudist camp or something. But you just have to, I don't know how to explain it, but I just learned how to be a friend to people who weren't exactly like me. Although, my friend Philly and I, we are pretty much alike. And I think if you do have certain beliefs because you go to a certain church or you are a certain religion, that's a good place to find your friends. Don't you think? Or, of course, get a YouTube channel like mine, and then you can find friends all over the world. Huh? Oh, yes. I heard from my children more times than I can count. Well, you just think you're perfect. No! It isn't that at all. I'm not bossy. I am aggressively helpful. So what am I doing? Now, I know some people hate this. My friend Vid hates this. But I wanted to make a little jacket, a blazer thing, and I wanted to make it out of this. I love this fabric. And I thought it would be the cutest jacket. And it's just 2 yards, so it's not enough. And then Friday, which was yesterday, Love Notions had their Metra Blazer on sale. And it shows always the garments that Love Notions, did I say Love Notions? The garments that they make and sell, they're all digital. But they have a whole bunch of pattern testers like Itch to Stitch does. And they show all these people wearing this jacket. Karina at Lifting Pins and Needles, she made it. Whitney at Tomcat Stitchery made 3 of them. And I thought, and it's out of knit. And I thought, oh my gosh, that'd be so cute to have a knit jacket. And so when I was going through my pile the other day, I found a mile of this blue knit. It says it needs to be stable. And I think I bought this at this real fancy store that Philly and I used to take classes at. It went out of business. Yeah, this is a very stable knit. That place was called, what was it called? It was run by 2 women, Nancy and Debbie. Nancy and Debbie. And it was a small fabric store, and they had classes there, and it was in Tulsa, and we used to drive up there and get a hotel, and we would take the classes. We just had an absolute ball doing it. That's where we took our first Palmer and Plesh class, actually. Oh, it had a different name. It'll come to me, of course, in a little while. You know, it always does. So I'm taping it together. Here you go. I'm taping it together using Adobe, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to try to get this made today. It's Saturday, and Jerry has been working in the yard, fertilizing it and picking up all the leaves, and he's been working for days doing that. So today he's over in his big barn, and he's packing boxes. So we're not going to go home till tomorrow. So I thought, I've got all my packing done, I've got all the laundry done, and I think I'll make this jacket today. So I'm going to turn the camera off right now, and later on, if I actually do make it, I'll come back and show you. So that's it for this video. Now, if you don't see me again for a month or 2 months, it's because the doctors, I've got to start physical therapy, I've got to start some other kind of therapy, what did I say? I forget what it's called. manipulative. Osteopathic manipulative therapy, that's what it's called. And he wants me to do that too. So I'm just not going to be into making videos for a while. So don't worry about me. I'm here. And as you can see right now, I'm good as new. I'm just fine. In fact, I'm going to go out to the barn and see what the guys are doing. The electrician's here and Jeffrey's here. So I want to go see what they're up to over there and if they need some wise hen supervision. So, I love you all. Thank you for watching me. And if I make a video, you'll be the first to know about it. Bye for now.